Medrano at 10, 2, and 2. This was the Nikolic bracket. Likely defeated Nikolic last round.
Yeah, gotta figure. Tron versus Jeskai, pretty favorable for the Tron deck, and nobody else could possibly have that record.
And we'll start here, Adonnys on the play. This matchup can be pretty close. I usually give a slight edge to Titan, but turn 3 Karn on the play is going to win nearly every time.
Stone Raining the Rampage Growth deck, pretty good.
Crack Sphere, make Chromatic Star and Scavenger Grounds. That's a huge win for Becky. Turn 3 Tron off the table now.
Right. And if the payoff is something other than Karn, something like an Ugin, that's way less impactful. If it bridges to Ulamog, that's different.
Yeah, you never beat Ulamog once it happens.
Yeah, I mean, almost nobody does.
I like just fetching here from Becky. Gets Cinderglade on the second land here. You want to get that or Stomping Ground, a matchup where life points don't matter, getting the potentially tapped lands out of your deck, a stronger line.
Right.
You see that no showing the preference away from life total. Farseeks for the second Cinderglade. Adonnys tempting to set up again for Tron. Crackstar for green mana. Casts Ancient Stirrings. I don't think he found a land. He found an Expedition map.
And that's really slow going.
Yeah, and this is not the matchup for slow.
Right. You have to get your Tron online and start Stone Raining. You have to do both of those things quickly.
Yeah, well, Titan Shift is a pretty good bet to turn 4.
Right.
Here's the map from Adonnys and a Sanctum of Ugin. It's another Tron land. Turn 5 Tron at the earliest. It's a great opportunity.
Right. Turn 5 Tron and speculating as to payoff. No confirmation on it being Karn even yet.
Yeah, and I was wondering if there's a way that he can make Ulamog on turn 5. That might work, but I don't even think that's a possibility off these lands.
Right. You have 2 lands that would only produce 1 mana. No way outside of Troning to produce additional mana with the deck.
Search for Tomorrow. Becky ramps up to 5. At this point, he's hoping that she had kept a hand of lands plus of just lands and ramp, no payoff.
It's like she's shuffling right after the search. You'd like to see another 2-mana ramp spell for her here. Maybe it's just Colony Heart Expedition. Actually, it's a pass.
Just a pass. I mean, a lot of her plays have indicated that she's got the payoffs. A search on turn 3 that didn't happen on turn 1, right? You look at that and you say, oh, you must have drawn that in the last 2 turns. And if you kept a hand with that's the turn 3 play, and the turn 2 play is Farseek, there's got to be Escape Shift here.
Right. And with just 2 mana being left behind, there's something big hanging out there.
Yeah, my thought is that what we're looking at is next turn, land 6, search for Tomorrow, Escape Shift. Which actually wouldn't be lethal here. That's only 18.
Yeah, Tron does not incidentally just take damage. Though just casting Primeval Titan next turn would kind of lay up into it.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Sylvan Scrying now from Medrano. He will get Tron on turn 5, thanks to this play. But he may even have to spend some of his mana to do it. It's not a powerful line. He will find Tower and play it.
I mean, this is the kind of Tron hand that loses to Jeskai.
Yeah.
This setup is just way too slow.
If he has a Karn in hand, it's locked up for turn 5. But with ramp, Becky can actually win through a Karn.
Right. The Karn on turn 3 is different.
Yeah.
Pushes you very far off of your thresholds.
Because then they always turn 4, they just like get a second land and then play a second Karn. That's how Karn works. And then you lose all your lands.
Yes.
6 mana here for Becky. Is it prime time? With a quick shuffle like that, that usually means yes. Because you're just like, well, I'm about to do this again. Hold on.
Yeah.
She will make Primeval Titan. She did have to Summoner's Pact for it. Which means a Karn next turn could do some hamstringing.
Though she has found 3 Cinderglades and the basic forests in the mix.
Yeah.
So Medrano can't push her off of just having double green to pay for the pact. You can mess up the mana a little bit, but not as significantly as you'd like to.
Her options here are to get a land, a mountain, and a Valakut for 3 damage, or 2 Valakuts for future damage. She'll go ahead and set up for the second.
And if Medrano doesn't have anything next turn to deal with this Titan,
And then he's dead.
yeah.
It's going to deal 100,000 damage.
Approximately.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like 30 something.
I would refer to it as functionally infinite.
And it looks like he does have the Karn as he cracks the Expedition map. Also has a follow-up Ulamog, so if he can survive this turn, he might be okay.
You could have a setup where you, say, Karn away the Titan, and Adlman has 8 lands now. She's still in a position to pay for Pact and Scapeshift, as she does have 4 green sources.
Yep, that would be lethal as he exiles away the Titan. He's got to hope that he gets an untap. If he gets it, I like his shot.
Yeah.
Pays for Pact. Now leaves up 2 green sources. Let's see if we're seeing that Scapeshift. An 8-land Scapeshift is lethal here.
So Valakut
and a Scapeshift.
Easy.
So 3 Valakuts, 6 lands. You sacrifice all 6 lands. You get 6 more mountains. Each mountain deals 9. You have 54.
That's
you
it?
You only point 1 of them at the Karn. I think we can do it. And on the draw, you'll love to pick up this win for Becky.
Definitely. Yeah, Adonnys, he didn't really have a hand that amounted to anything. Way too slow for Tron in basically every matchup.
And damage goes upstairs. Game 1 goes over to Becky Adlman.
And now we'll check out sideboards.
Right. Tron side, 4 Nature's Claim, 3 Thought-Knot Seer, 3 Thragtusk, 3 Spatial Contortion, 2 Relic of Progenitus.
Don't mind Thought-Knot Seer in this matchup. If Adlman only has 1 payoff card, you can break that up, though mostly you're trying to get the turn 3 Karn. This is something that can kind of do something sometimes.
Yeah. Thought-Knot Seer is pretty weak here. It's better than Oblivion Stone, so it's probably going to come in.
Yeah,
but that's about all I can say about it.
You got some main deck stuff that's more garbage.
Yeah.
If you know that Adleman's on Colony Heart Expedition, there's kind of an argument to try to Nature's Claim that away. You can steal some points that way. It's pretty minor, though.
I actually might like that more. So the thing is that the Relic cycles. I think it's better than any of these terrible cards. Walking Ballista is terrible, too. So we have 4 Oblivion Stone and 3 Walking Ballista. I want to board all these out. I would go 3 Thought-Knot Seer, 4 Nature's Claim, because... Or maybe, like, the last 2 Relics, 2 Nature's Claim. Relics cycle, Nature's Claim. If you can claim a Colony Heart Expedition, it's great. It's probably not going to happen.
I mean, what's your thought on Wormcoil Engine versus Thought-Knot Seer? It doesn't seem like you're generally going to get it done with Wormcoil Engine unless you're already disrupting lands.
I think Thought-Knot's better than Wormcoil.
Right.
Yep.
That's where I land on that as well.
Yeah, he has some decisions to make between cards that are D-minuses and cards that are Fs, and figuring out which ones he wants to have. Really, he wants Karn, Ulamog, and Tron.
D- is a passing grade.
If you take the cards pass-fail, it's not. But yeah, you're right. It's not F. It's got some way to go.
Yeah, because pass-fail it tends to be like 70%.
I think it's 70 for pass-fails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got a bunch of fails.
You got a bunch of fails.
And not much in the way of passes.
Becky's side, her sideboard, doesn't do much either. Sometimes you'll see something like Crumble to Dust or Moanvuli Acid Moss. She has Damping Sphere, Ancient Grudge, Anger of the Gods, Abrade, Hour of Devastation, Obstinate Baloth, Tireless Tracker, Reclamation Sage, Beast Within, Grafdigger's Cage, Carnage Tyrant. These all suck.
You don't want a Beast Within a Tron land?
So now we can argue whether that's better or worse than Bolting Their Face.
It's better.
Close.
Pretty
it's better
sure.
than Anger. I don't know if it's better than Bolting Their Face. It's really close.
Really?
Remember how there was that turn where he was at 20? And
okay.
No, seriously.
It's a time walk.
If we sneak the Bolted early, we could shift to turn earlier.
I guess on the draw, the Beast Within's a little bit less effective, but I want it in the deck. Anger of the Gods, I suppose. You get Sweltering Sun's also in Adleman's main deck. That one's got to go.
Both these decks are like ramp decks with 5 or 6 interactive cards, and all the interactive cards in this matchup are just awful.
The flex slot would just never go for a mirror-adjacent matchup with these decks.
Well, the best part is, like, so sometimes if there was a flex slot, you might see Crumble in Becky's sideboard, right? But if Adonnys has turn 3 Tron on the play, it doesn't even matter. You can't cast it in time.
Yeah. Though.
There's no defense. When they turn 3 Tron you on the play, you just shrug and lose.
If it goes to a 3-game set, that means that Adlman will be on the play game 3.
Yeah.
So you get a shot at it.
It's just minor percentage. It's great. Adonnys taking a mulligan here for the second game.
Yeah, I suppose Crumble the Dust on the sideboard was something that was largely a factor having to do with just being a green-red deck. You have to put green and red cards on your sideboard, and that is a card that checks that box.
I used to put Acid Moss in the sideboard of this deck, because then you can board it in against Jeskai.
Sure.
Push
them off, cryptic command.
I mean, right? Like, they'll be holding their Logic Knot, and you're like, turn 3, Acid Moss you, and looking, and you're like, oh, I have to spend my counterspell on this.
You sure do.
Like, yeah.
I don't know how...
You can get Stomping Ground off it, too.
I don't know how into Pauper you've ever gotten, but there was a period where there was a mono-green Tron deck, and Acid Moss was just the mirror breaker, drawing more Acid Mosses. And Thermokarst?
Oh, we're sure we're blowing up all their lands.
Can we get Thermokarst on the screen?
It's like green land destruction, just all of it. It's like Icequake or whatever.
It was bizarre, because it was a ramp deck that was very invested in destroying your opponent's lands. And your payoff was Aurochs Herd. Yeah, green 1, destroy target land. Very
I love the second line text.
By the color line pie. If it's snow covered, you gain 1 life. So if your Pauper deck is styling, you lose life for it.
Adonnys keeping on 7. He's got Power Plant plus Expedition Map.
Aurochs Herd, yeah. 6 mana, 4/4. Finds more of them.
It's Squadron Aurochs Herd.
Exactly.
That's the green Squadron Hawk. It's a 4/4 for 6.
See, when you have Tron lands, you can just cast 2 of these.
Both decks here on their nut draw right now. For Adonnys, it's Tron Piece into Map, and for Titan Shift, it's Suspend Search.
Yeah. If Adonnys has that second Tron piece, then turn 3 Tron is rolled up.
So here's just want to talk about how little board we have. Becky has Damping Spheres in for this matchup.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, they turn off some of the lands, maybe.
Speaking of turning off lands, no second land drop from Medrano.
I love this keep from Adonnys, okay? Because what you need in this match is turn 3 Tron. So, like, if you have Expedition Map, single Tron piece, and Sylvan Scrying in your hand, and it's a 1-lander, I am going to keep.
Map, Tron piece, Karn I'm into. If you know the Tron leads to Karn.
Yes, I don't know if the Karn's there. If it is, I'm down. And maybe it means on camera you're going to get embarrassed, but I think it's completely correct. And he has it. Yeah, it's Karn, Scrying. This was great.
Yeah, definitely defensible there.
And unfortunately, it's not going to work out. He missed the land drop again. Becky turn 3, resolving Search for Tomorrow, getting a counter on Colony Heart Expedition.
And the Expedition makes it so there's way more pressure for the Karn to have been on time. It's just a double ramp spell. It's really hard to catch up from there.
Cinderglade, another second counter on Colony Heart. Yeah, she's not taking a game action, so she still gets the counter.
Yeah.
Farseek will be another counter. Ramps up. This is to 6, to 5, and now to 7 if she needs it. If she has that Scape Shift, she will be winning next turn.
Yep. And an 8th land.
Oh, Prismatic Omen.
Never mind.
Well, that actually doesn't do anything here, and Adonnys extends the hand. He's not technically dead here.
Yeah, but
if
you want to keep playing.